welcome to week 2 of the vlog. So, I don't know how much I'm gonna get into, like, decompressing hard to think about stuff, because a lot happened this week. Like, I'm guessing every week will happen. But, starting off, I started the week with school, obviously, and I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, Marissa and I decided to go get a thing called matcha, and it's hard to describe, and it probably doesn't look as appetizing as it really is, but it's this thing where they give you a bowl of all the ingredients, and they give you, basically, think of you know those Japanese style grills where they have the grill in the table in front of you? Think of it like that, except for mini sized. And you put all the ingredients in, and you cut it up with these spatulas, and then you make kind of like a pancake that's not a pancake, and oh my god, it was so good. We had one was a seafood one, and then another one was a pork one, and both were amazing. It was just, that is some good food. Along the way, we also ran into some cool architecture, which is seen here. I took pictures because why not? And this architecture, I guess, from more than just that day. But yeah. Moving on from there, I decided, I believe Wednesday night, after school ended at like 4:30, to just roam around, pick a direction from Waseda, and just roam that way. And so I chose to go, I want to say like southwest or something, and I walked and walked, and when I found something cool, I stopped and took pictures and experienced it. And oh my god, there's this beautiful little shrine with these kitsune, which are fox statues, that are supposed to be, foxes are supposed to be like messengers of the gods in Japanese Shinto tradition. And so these kinds of shrines are a dime a dozen, and they're just so beautiful. It reminds me of going to Germany, where they would have these small towns, and then you walk into one of the Catholic churches, and everything's marble and gold, and it's beautiful as all hell. So I go from there, and I move to this different university that I found that was probably a mile away from Waseda, and then it was just this nice, felt like it was just a campus that was stepped, or not, like planted on a park, almost. And I'm walking through, and I see this beautiful ass modern take on Gothic architecture, with like brick flying buttresses and negative space arches, pointed arches, really cool. Unfortunately, there was a lot of tree coverage, so I couldn't really take a good picture. So that's why you're not seeing it right now. But I went from there, and I went down to a pond that I had seen on the map of the campus. And, I mean, one, it was mosquito central. That probably wasn't the best idea, but wow. They had these beautiful flowers in bloom, and it was just like, oh, I could totally see myself coming here basically every day to have lunch if I was a student of this college. I think it was called Gakushin. Yeah. From there, I walked more, and I walked down to Ikebukuro, saw random stuff. I think I tried to enter more shrines, but all the shrines were closed or had their doors closed, or it was just a neighborhood and I was an idiot. That happens too. And the fun part is when the weekend happens. Friday starts out, and I come back from school, and the old manager, Yuto, is deciding to throw basically a potluck kind of thing. It's called Yuto Nabe, which nabe in Japanese I believe is pot. But, so he gets me to help him get all the groceries for it, and it's this huge brass pot. It's probably about this size, and man, we filled that thing full of everything. We had mushrooms, we had lettuce, we had, oh god, what else? We had tons of meat, tofu, noodles, udon. Alongside that, Yuto's favorite food is spaghetti and pasta. So my friend Jess made a huge helping of spaghetti for him, which was awesome. And both of those together are really good. Jess's spaghetti is something on par with my favorite recipe. That's saying something. But what really strikes me is it was a good chance to just sit down and talk with everyone. And it was so interesting because I was talking to a Spaniard named Ale, or Alejandro, I think is his actual, Spanish name. And he had just gotten back from Taiwan, so that was cool. And sitting there chatting for probably 2 hours with him and everyone else, and it was a comfortable and nice time. I enjoyed it. And then we go on to Saturday. Oh man, Saturday is a good day. I'll get more into that. So Saturday, I decided to meet up with my friend Ko, and we decided to go to a place called Kawagoe. Kawagoe is kind of a small town. It's got a lot of history, like most of Japan, but it's probably an hour and a half out from Tokyo, so not a huge amount of people, comparatively. And we get to Kawagoe, and we get down onto the street, and it's like, bam, immediately, you got food in your hand. And so, the first thing we had, I forget the name of, it's like dango, which are these balls made of, I think, rice flour. And a lot of times people think dango are sweet. This was not exactly sweet. It was more about the texture of dango mixed with seaweed to create a really good flavor. Me and Ko have very similar taste palettes, which is really nice. So yeah, we just literally we go down the stairs and there's this stall right there, and he's like, "Oh, let's get some of that." So we grab that and we're walking down Main Street of this place, Kawagoe, and there's just so much liveliness in the city. Maybe it was because of the weekend and a bunch of people were there, but you walk down the town and it's shop after shop after shop, and all of them are nice family shops. And we keep going, and it's like, oh, and we're stopping here to get yakitori, which is basically Japanese what the Americans would call kebabs, which is completely different than Japanese kebabs. Japanese kebabs are more like gyros, and our kebabs for the Japanese are more like yakitori. So it was yakitori with like a kimchi sauce on it, and I loved the shit out of that. Oh, it was just what I needed. So, moving on from yakitori, we go further down Main Street, and we see a shrine. And there's another fairly decent-sized shrine, but in it, I got to talk to Ko about, like, oh, I'd seen at the Warabi Shrine probably 2 days before that they put up this wreath of something. It's like a 7-foot tall wreath, and I think people hop through it, because I saw people doing it, but I asked him what it was, and apparently on July 7th, there is a belief in Shinto that there are two gods, or a god and a goddess, and they're unable to meet each other as the goddess's father forbids it, except for on one day every year, and that's 7/7. And so the belief is that if you hop through the wreath, you'll find happiness in marriage and stuff like that. From there, I go and we start doing all the stuff at the shrine, and this was actually a weirdly large amount of stuff to do at the shrine. So, first thing we do is we put in, I think it was like 10 yen, and we take these, it's basically a ring toss, except for if you landed on a certain category, it's good luck in something. So it was like good luck in love, good luck in studies, good luck in money, good luck in health, and I think good luck, the last one was good luck in whatever you are desiring. So of course, I, being the good student I am, try and go for the studies one. Almost make it. Not gonna say I did though, because I didn't. But that was fun. Just seemed like almost like a county fair kind of thing. That kind of feel. So we go from there, and the next thing is they have this pond kind of thing, or it's a waterfall going into a pond. And the whole gist of it is you take all the coins that you have and wash them in the pond, and it's supposed to, like, bring good luck with money and kind of purify them, I'm guessing. And, so yeah, we did that. Oh, speaking of purifying, this is probably a good time to talk about, so, in Shinto shrines, you're supposed to purify yourself before you come in. So, the way you do that is, they have these, basically a well, and they have wooden paddles, and there are small buckets on a handle, and you dip it in, and you have to do this. They're pretty lax in it, but I just like doing it that formal way because it's, I don't know, I find it kind of fun. So you wash your left hand, you put the handle in your left hand, wash your right hand, then you cup your left hand, put some in your hand, take it in your mouth, swish the water around a little bit, spit it out away from the well, because that's very bad, because it's sacred, and then you wash your left hand, and then you tilt the paddle so all the rest of the water washes the handle itself. And then you just put it back, and you're now purified for the shrine. And so, I do that at every shrine that I go to. It's kind of a nice tradition, I think. So anyways, from there, we go in this shrine. There's these snake statues, and depending on what part of the statue you rub, it means different luck in different things. So it's if you rub the head, it's good studies. If you rub the coil, it's like good health, I want to say, or something like that. If you rub the egg, it's good monetary luck. And then if you rub both statues at the same time, it's good for marriage and love and stuff like that. So I did that, obviously, and I rubbed the head of both, the egg, and the coil to get all the luck I can. And then we left, and it was just a cool little shrine. But from there, we went further down. We saw unique little shops, like there was this charcoal shop where in Japan they used charcoal to filter water a lot, so they put like a water jug, and they have a brick of charcoal in it. And so they also, this store was selling those, but it also made artwork out of it, like sculptures. And so it was really cool to see all the different things that this master of art could do with charcoal. And yeah, that was cool. From there, we went further down. This is a long main street, by the way. We went further down and a little bit to the side, and we got these yam chips. Oh my fucking god, I love those things. They are amazing, and probably healthier, but they're huge. A lot of them were like 6 inches in length. They're amazing. I think I paid probably $2 for them. Amazing offer. So we go from there, go get some ice cream, which was yam flavored, because I think Kawagoe is famous for its yams. And that's amazing. And we went into another shop and we got these things, which are, they're basically lemon sweets with beans inside of them. One other small snack that I was able to get it was, think like a dumpling, except for inside is yams, again, the specialty of Kawagoe, and red bean paste. Oh my god, I love red bean paste. I think I might be addicted to it if I can't get some in the States. But I just devour that in probably 10 seconds. It was amazing. I'm gonna describe everything I've had on Saturday as amazing, because it was. Oh my god, this made me realize how good Japanese cuisine really is. It's that good. From there, we go to this small udon shop, and we have 1, amazing udon. 2, I had tempura udon, and with, again, the specialty for the town, which was they put like potato seasoning on the udon noodles. Very good. But the tempura had fried melon in it, or not melon, pumpkin. Japanese pumpkin is just mind-blowingly good, especially in tempura form. I don't understand why Americans don't eat something like that. Because I could see that at Thanksgiving. I would eat a whole pumpkin worth. I'm not even kidding. Those things are so fucking good. It's good. But what was really cool about this udon shop was you come in, it's not a big place, it's Japan, and so you take off your shoes, and it's all tatami mats, which tatami mats are like maybe grass or something, where it's weaved together and it makes this nice feeling mat. So it's all tatami mats, and like, you either sit down, and the table's at, like, your waist height, or what we did was we sat basically at the bar, and so it's at waist height, but they also have, like, dug-in leg room, and it was, that store has probably, like, as a restaurant, the best, authentic feel to it. That, I could not believe how great the atmosphere was in that restaurant. So yeah, great udon. I can see why Ko hates udon in Seattle, or ramen, or sushi, or any Japanese food. It's kind of a bummer for him, I'm guessing. So from there, we decided, since we reached the end of Main Street, we were just gonna walk around. And walk around we did. We went and we saw these people doing this weird form of candy where it was basically glass blowing except for in candy form. It was really cool. And from there, on the, like, it was a street vendor, so on the cart for the vendor, he also had all the art he could make with the candy itself. Amazing craftsmanship in any of the things in Kawagoe. And Kawagoe's got great historical buildings as well. Like, Main Street itself, holy crap. But, from there, we decided to walk along the river that goes through Kawagoe. And it felt like in those, like, slice of life animes, and I know I'm losing people who aren't into anime, where it's like those rural towns with the river running through it and the bridge. It felt exactly like that. It was very peaceful, and you could just walk around, see all the surroundings. It was really nice. We get up from there and walk from there to a big attraction. Well, the main reason I wanted to go to Kawagoe in the first place, which was they had this castle. And granted, most of the castle hadn't survived, but they had refurbished a lot of the castle. And so we went through there, probably, I think it was like 100 yen. Really cheap. And it was nice to see, one, Japanese historical architecture, and two, history, because I'm a history buff. And, they did this cool thing where it was explained to me, in the rocks in the garden, I think they raked it, and I don't know. I don't know the actual way of doing it. But they formed it in such a way that they were trying to create an artwork that emulated the waves of the ocean. And it's just cool shit like that happens. And you don't see that in America. Yeah. From there, we go and we visit this side shrine that's just, we're walking and there's hill with steps going up, and I'm like, oh, that's probably something, let's go over there. So we go over, and there's this side shrine, and it's a nice shrine. It's got a lot of the normal stuff for a shrine. They got something weird, which, like, basically sheetrock standing up, and they've got inscriptions on it, a lot of them in kanji. I can't read, so I asked Ko, and he was like, oh, I can't read either. It's really hard kanji. But we go from there, and we go try and go around the back to where there was like a baseball field behind it, so we thought there would be a way through, and nope, it just got destroyed or something. There's wilderness and stuff everywhere. And Ko's looking for a way through, and he suddenly goes, "Get back," because there is, I shit you not, a insect about that big. It's probably 2 inches in length, and it is huge. And I understand, after multiple people telling me why I should be afraid of it. It's called the Japanese giant hornet. And according to them, 2 stings from this thing, and you will literally die. From there, Ko decides to take me to an onsen. And this is the highlight of the day, for sure. Onsens are, for people who don't know, Japanese public baths. But, while that might sound bad, oh my god, is it so good. It's amazing. You go in, they're like, okay, don't have any tattoos? Oh, I should probably explain that. In Japan, you can't go into baths or swimming areas a lot if you have tattoos, because the way it's explained to me, Japanese don't like tattoos because only the Yakuza in Japanese get tattoos, and so it's basically, hey, you're Yakuza, get the fuck out. We don't want mobsters in our establishment, please. So, that's the reason why. If you ever see anything that's like, no tattoos. Yeah. So we go in, they're like, no tattoos, none of us have tattoos, and we put our stuff in, we go to the boys section, we go in, it's like, it's a public bath, you have to undress and yada yada yada. But from there, we take a shower, kind of weird shower, because you had to always hold down, like, the shower button to get pressure at all, and trying to do that and clean yourself off is hard. But anyways, from there, we go into the hottest pool, which I think was like, I want to say 45 to 50 degrees Celsius, which is, I want to say 115 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's hot. Not gonna lie, that was pretty hot, but it felt really good. After about maybe 10 minutes, I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to go to a different place, because I can't stay here. I'm gonna die of heat stroke if I do. So, we go to the next pond, which is 40 degrees Celsius, about 100. And, we sit there, and I'm sitting there, talking to Ko, and I can literally feel tingling all up and down my arms, just because the blood circulation is, I don't know if it's getting freed, or if it's boiling in my veins or something, I don't know. But I just felt all this tingling, and so I was like, okay, I'm not exactly a whole huge fan of that, but while I might say that, the onsen itself, oh my god, it's so relaxing. And I can see why anyone would do it. So, from there, we go, and they had this probably 6 inches worth of hot water, and they had rock beds. Like, they had rock pillow and sheetrock, and so you would just lay down, and that is probably the most relaxing thing I've done while in Japan. 'Cause, wow. Just being surrounded by warmth and, like, not having to do anything, staring up at the roof that doesn't have really, it was plastic roofing with, like, wood supports. So, we sit there talking, chatting for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long. We go from there to the sauna. Sauna is god-awful hot. It's I dried off everything before going into the sauna. A minute into the sauna, I am dripping sweat. It's just insanely hot. So from there, we shower off again, and there's this tradition that apparently is in Japan where after you get out of the onsen, you have to drink. They have like vending machines full of milk, and you drink this coffee milk. And one, delicious, and two, Ko is definitely right when he says that it's because you've just been in the onsen that it makes it so much more delicious. So we go from there, and as we're going through our adventure the entire day, Ko had brought up a phrase in Japanese. The phrase that he brought up was omamuki, which basically is the idea is it's the feeling you get when you stare at a beautiful sunset. It's not melancholy because it's not sad as much. There's tiniest hint of sad, but it's just beautiful and calming more. And coming on the onsen, you could definitely feel the omamuki in like the pictures of the sunset. That's a very poignant thing in my mind. So from there, this is the last time I say that for this trip, we go and we go to a batting cage, which was fun, and I was completely up for it. I had been feeling nostalgic for baseball. Man, am I no longer good at baseball. I mean, yes, it's been probably 5 to 7 years since I played baseball, but I was going up with a probably 50 mile per hour pitching machine, and I did not hit one of them. I bunted one. That's it. That's the extent of my abilities. I sucked. But it was a nice little small ending. Like the onsen was the climax for that day, and this was just like the nice ride down. Ko, if you're watching, which I'm guessing you are, thank you so much. That was probably one of the best days I've had in my life so far. That was, not kidding, that was amazing. Thank you. Yeah. So from there, day passes. I wake up at 6:15 in the morning to get up to go to an amusement park, which I cannot remember the name of. But anyways, we get up, it's like an hour, no, probably 2 hours of train rides to get to the amusement park, and it's me, my friend Jess, and 2 new friends I had made, basically, Luis and Anya. And they had been hyping up this amusement park for a while, and it looked amazing. We did like a gondola ride in once we got to this train stop that we wanted to. And looking around, it's pretty big, looks like, and there's some fairly big roller coasters and a bungee jump, which looked awesome. We get in, and we start going, and I was wearing swim trunks because there was also a pool attached to this, which I was ecstatic about. We go in and pay like $50, and we realize before that we're not going to be able to get in the pool because Jess and Luis both have tattoos. So that's not going to happen. Alright, so we go and get in line, and we ride this thing called the Bandit, which is probably one more fun amusement park roller coasters that I've been in. So, from the Bandit, it's pretty long. It's like a 2-minute long ride of a roller coaster going probably 50 miles per hour. It's really good. From there, we went and we did one of those pendulum roller coasters where they gradually start swinging you, and then you do like a loop-loop. That was awesome. Those are some of my favorite ones, actually. We did the swing roller coaster ride from like Sandlot and stuff like that, where the kids puke off the side. We did that ride, and I had never actually remembered doing one of those. That was fun. We did this go-kart one. Oh man, the go-kart sucked. The line was long because it took a while for everything to keep going, because it was one person per go-kart unless you got in that 2-person lane, but me and Luis didn't do that. And the go-karts are not very fast, and the track is kind of small. So we're like, oh, whatever. So we go from there, we get some food, some dinners, which was pretty good. And we go to a Egyptian House of Horrors, which was basically like a test of your athletic ability, because they would have all these puzzle rooms that you have to go through, like laser rooms, and there was one room where you had to like turn a wheel to get it so your teammate would be able to pass through such and such, and you have to do it in a certain time limit. And none of us made it in the time limit. It's very hard, but that was pretty fun. From there we went and we did a Save the Animals ride, where you basically get guns and you shoot poachers and spiders. And I always enjoyed shoot 'em ups. So from there we go to the bungee jump area, which has those like pole roller coasters where they just take you up, and then drop you suddenly. I enjoy those a lot, so I did those. And you got a nice view of the Tokyo in the distance and Mount Fuji and all that stuff. And we decided to go from there to the beach. So we go an hour out of the way, and at this point it's nearing like 1-2 o'clock, so we're all hungry. We stop by McDonald's, and I had McDonald's for the first time in 5 years, I want to say, and I got a Grand Mac, because why not? If you're gonna break your streak, go big or go home. And gotta say, not gonna go back to McDonald's anytime soon. It wasn't bad, but so from there we go to the beach, and the beach was nice. It was like a beach resort, and I really wanted to hike the surroundings, to be honest. Like, the beach itself was pretty good. It pretty mildly tempered water. It wasn't warm by any stretch of the imagination, but it also wasn't Seattle level cold where it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of the summer or anything like that. So I didn't get to do any exploring of the landscape because just didn't feel like breaking away from the group. We go and we swim for probably an hour, and there's just so much seaweed. I was not prepared for that amount of seaweed. It got all over, like, when we were done swimming, we all dug in our pockets and took out clumps of seaweed, but oh my god, so much. But really, the highlight of that day, today, was basically just hanging out with new friends. Talking with Jess and Luis and Anya, and me and Luis have very similar experiences. He also has screws in him that hurt like a bitch if you hit them in the wrong way. He also enjoys Celtic music, which rarely happens. Yeah, I found some good friends today. And yeah, that's kind of one of the things that you come to stay abroad for, right? Gaining culture and new friends. So I count this weekend as a definite success. So now on to the weird little factoids that probably people don't realize if they're either Japanese and haven't gone to the States, or from the States who haven't gone to Japan. Like, in here, in Japan, one, they don't use towels, paper towels, in bathrooms. You basically just hand dry it or wipe it down. Because they don't want to lead to more deforestation and stuff like that, which is understandable. What I cannot understand, though, I don't understand that it pisses me off. It's like the smallest little thing that they can do to piss me the hell off. They don't perforate their fucking toilet paper. I don't understand why this annoys me so much, but being able to rip on a nice clean line in a set amount of toilet paper, I think is great design. This, you just basically rip and pray. If it works out, you get something that sort of looks like it'll work. If not, you get stuff that mostly works, and then there's a long, long, long strand. And there's probably some way that I'm doing it wrong, but Also, and I know all these things have been toilet-based, but you spend a lot of time in toilets. It's life. The last toilet thing. In a lot of the stalls, they don't have, when you close them and lock them, you don't have like a place to hang on for the stall lock bar. You just kind of grab onto it and move it. Whereas in the States, you just have one of those, basically a piece of metal sticking out that you can grab onto. You don't have that in Japan. The worst thing in Japan so far, by far though, the mosquitoes. Oh my god. These things, it's like they're on a hunt for anyone that is not Japanese. They don't go away, too. It's not like American mosquitoes where it's like, oh, I got stung. It'll go away in 2 days. Nah. I've had this one on my arm for like a week. It just won't go away. I've had this one on my arm for like a week. It won't go away. It's so hot and humid here that it's impossible to get rid of them. It's just the worst. But, I mean, me saying that that's the worst means that Japan is really fucking good. Because I can deal with mosquitoes all the damn day. For now, I'm going to bed at 12:30 this time, because I'm tired and I woke up at 6. So, I'm gonna go. Love you guys. Bye ya.